see what impact it.
I think you're looking at the right stuff, and I think with most of these diets, low carb, fasting mimicking diet, even time restricted feeding, all of these. Doug documented this some with his as well. Improved muscle mass and decreased body fat, which is what you're wanting to get.
Well, that's right. It'll be interesting. You talk about the Prolon. I looked at that. It's interesting for a business person like me. When I go home, we have our children. Well, my children don't feel the same about Brussels sprouts and green beans and salad made of kale and spinach as I do. So they're not likely to. When I look at success, my wife says, I'll do a special diet for you. I'll get your salmon. I get these other things. So the Prolong diet's interesting because I could get buy-in from my wife going, honey, here, order this. It's delivered, and now she can get an X, and then she can go fix supper the way the kids. Not that they would be harmed eating my diet, but it's hard to get a 4-year-old to understand, a 12-year-old, probably the 14-year-old is the most difficult to get them to understand that healthy. I've had that argument with him. He says, the whole triangle of foods in a pizza, Dad. I mean, you get everything: dairy, bread, vegetables, meat. It's all right there in a pizza. So rather than winning those arguments every day, if you can't hardly compromise, right? I can't eat what they eat one day and eat what I should eat the next day. So that Prolon looks like it could solve some just practical family. When one person in the family is trying to commit to something, maybe that's a way. I have no financial interest in all, but it looked interesting to me that maybe a solution to solving some of the thought process and the work that has to go into creating a special diet. Somebody has to buy that food, prepare it, and that's the bigger hurdle. So when you're hungry. It gets 1 o'clock. Where's my food? Well, I'm at work, so it's a solution that may work.
Yeah, it's, like everything else, you pay your money, you take your licks. It's got a lot of advantages in terms of having been researched. They've done a lot of work in terms of knowing what sort of macronutrients they want to get in there. And again, there's a ton of research which has backed it up. Like you said, it's simple. You just open the box, you eat what's in the box, you don't eat what's not in the box. You don't have to make those kind of choices. On the other hand, a lot of people feel like it's expensive. Again, you look at it, it's compared to eating out, it's not expensive at all compared to.
I just spent $10 on a salad.
Yeah.
One meal. So do that 2 times a day. It's half the price, right? Prolon.
Well, I appreciate your time today, James, and I will say this now. These 2 videos are going to publish, and you don't want to be in a position of somebody running into you and asking you about this diet, and you saying, "Well, I fell off the wagon." So you got a very public commitment here now, my friend.
Yeah, I understand. If the good Lord blesses me to be here in 6 weeks, we'll see how it looks.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you again then.
I'll see you then, bud.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Thanks. And if you hit that subscribe or like button, it makes a big difference. An even bigger difference happens when you share. You can share on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest. When you do that, it makes a big difference in terms of the algorithm. It sends this to other people, realizing that humans think this is interesting information and helpful. Thank you again.